Okay, so then we started researching about what is this SCAN, how a secret charity helps Jewish groups feel safe forward. Are they safe? Are they feeling safe? What's actually going on? We're getting helpers? What's going on here? So the then head of the local Jewish Federation of Greater Kansas City, Todd Stetner, I'm quoting the article, was skeptical of SCAN before 2014. He said that he had great relationships with local cops and saw no need for an outside group. That changed after a neo-Nazi named Fraser Glenn Miller killed 3 people at Jewish sites in Stetner's community in Kansas last April. Quote, he had connections to the Department of Homeland Security, to all the federal resources, Stetner said of Paul Goldenberg, SCAN's national director, who flew to Kansas City after the attack. He, quote, he set us up to meet all the right people. Okay. So as I mentioned before, SCAN, Secure Community Networks, this parallel Homeland Security operation, specifically for the Jewish federations. This was from the General Assembly of the Jewish Federations of North America right after the election last fall, actually. And the head of the organization, Jerry Silverman, the president and CEO, right before he talked about SCAN, our Jewish Homeland Security, he referred to the insidious reach of BDS and how we're allowed to have differences, but some issues bring us all together in order to push back against. So what is the Secure Community Network? It's been around for 10 years. I've never heard of it. It was started by the Conference of Presidents of the United Jewish Communities and the American Jewish Committee. They're the prime sort of meta-contractor of the Jewish Federations of North America. In my mind, I was thinking of looking at the General Assembly. Imagine if, like, the Nation of Islam said, this is our African American Muslim Homeland Security organization. And then they introduced the president of Iran to be their featured speaker, because that's who Silverman introduced, was Benjamin Netanyahu next. Okay, so you can look on Stetner, Todd Stetner, who had this previously. He didn't think he needed this relationship with SCAN. He mentioned Paul Goldenberg as the head of SCAN. Paul Goldenberg is also the president and CEO of Cardinal Point Strategies, which is a security consultancy contractor. He's on the board of the Homeland Security Advisory Council, along with people like Lee Hamilton's sitting right underneath him. So that's interesting. The 9/11 cover-up is sitting right there. Then there's Jane Harmon. She was a key figure in presenting a panel back in 2008, I believe, that put Richard Gage, AIA, of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, in between white supremacist organizations, anti-gay organizations, jihadi organizations. And then they point out that Richard Gage is trying to radicalize Americans. Okay, and this was done by a combination of someone from the RAND Corporation and the Simon Wiesenthal Center. And I believe it was actually the man from the Simon Wiesenthal Center that presented Richard Gage, AIA, as a scary radicalizer for domestic threats. That got us looking into some of the overlap between those boards, and the name that stuck out was Peter Lowy, the son of Frank Lowy, Zionist terrorist, freedom fighter, whatever area you come from, who was involved with the Trade Center deal with Larry Silverstein, with Ronald Lauder, with Louis Eisenberg from the then Port Authority, and Louis Eisenberg's deputy that at that point was a man named Michael Glassner, who turned out to be the deputy campaign director of the Trump campaign straight out of Southwest APEC. I confronted him in Kansas. He's actually from Kansas. So then, what is this relationship with SCAN, Secure Community Networks, our quote, Jewish Homeland Security? This is some type of security relationship, or an insecurity relationship, it sort of more looks like in a